The United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon, or UNIFIL, and also known as the UN, was originally created by the United Nations, with the adoption of Security Council Resolution 425 and 426 on 19 March 1978, to confirm Israeli withdrawal from Lebanon, which Israel had invaded 5 days prior, restore international peace and security, and help the government of Lebanon restore its effective authority in the area. The mandate had to be adjusted twice, due to the Israeli invasion of Lebanon in 1982, and after the Israeli withdrawal from Lebanon in 2000. Following the 2006 Lebanon War, the United Nations Security Council enhanced UNIFIL and decided that in addition to the original mandate, it would, among other things, monitor the cessation of hostilities, accompany and support the Lebanese armed forces as they deploy throughout the south of Lebanon, and extend its assistance to help ensure humanitarian access to civilian populations and the voluntary and safe return of displaced persons. The first UNIFIL troops were deployed in the area on 23 March 1978. These troops were reassigned from other UN peacekeeping operations in the area. During the occupation, UNIFIL's function was mainly to provide humanitarian aid. UNIFIL's mandate is renewed by United Nations Security Council annually. Current mandate expires on 31 August 2016. Mandate: UNIFIL is tasked with achieving the following objectives: confirm the withdrawal of Israeli forces from southern Lebanon, restore international peace and security, assist the government of Lebanon in ensuring the return of its effective authority in the area, mandating resolutions by the United Nations. The 31st of January 2006, United Nations Security Council Resolution 1655. The 31st of July 2006, United Nations Security Council Resolution 1697. The 11th of August 2006, United Nations Security Council Resolution 1701. Lebanese Civil War. Prior to the 1982 Lebanon War, on 2 January 1982, 2 Ghanaian soldiers guarding a UNIFIL position were attacked by unidentified persons, and one of the soldiers was shot and subsequently died. During the 1982 Lebanon War, UN positions were overrun, primarily by the SLA forces under Saad Haddad. This was the Lebanese paramilitary force supported by the IDF in southern Lebanon. Beginning in 1985, Israel scaled back its permanent positions in Lebanon, although this process was punctuated by brief invasions and bombings, as in Operation Accountability in 1993 and Operation Grapes of Wrath in 1996. In 1999, Israel undertook a withdrawal, which concluded in 2000 and enabled UNIFIL to resume its military tasks. Post-2006 war operations. UNIFIL is currently deployed in southern Lebanon and primarily along the United Nations drawn blue line, which is the border between Israel and Lebanon. The force's activities have centered around monitoring military activity between Hezbollah and the Israeli Defense Forces, with the aim of reducing tensions and allaying tension along the border. UNIFIL has also played an important role in clearing landmines, assisting displaced persons and providing humanitarian assistance to civilians in the underdeveloped region of southern Lebanon. Under UN Security Council Resolution 1701, which passed as a result of the 2006 Lebanon War, its mandate and rules of engagement changed. The mandate changed to allow up to 15,000 personnel in order to assist the Lebanese armed forces in deploying in southern Lebanon to implement the Lebanese government's sovereignty. The rules of engagement changed to allow the troops to open fire in certain cases, mostly in cases of self-defense, but also in order to protect civilians, UN personnel and facilities. The new resolution states that UNIFIL can take all the necessary action in areas of deployment of its forces, and as it deems with its capabilities, to ensure that its area of operations is not utilized for hostile activities of any kind. On 27 August 2006, United Nations Secretary-General Kofi Annan said that UNIFIL would not intercept arms shipments from Syria, unless requested to do so by Lebanon Maritime Task Force. The Maritime Task Force is the naval component of the United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon. As of February 2012, the MTF is under the command of Rear Admiral Wagner Lopes de Moraes Zamuth of Brazil. The Brazilian frigate Constituição is the flagship of the fleet, comprising vessels from Brazil, Bangladesh, Germany, Greece, Indonesia and Turkey. After the 2006 Lebanon War, the UNIFIL Maritime Task Force was established to assist the Lebanese naval forces in preventing the smuggling of illegal shipments in general and armament shipments in particular. With its establishment in October 2006, the force was led by the German Navy, which was also the major contributor to the force. The Germans lead the MTF up until 29 February 2008, when they passed control over to EUROMARFOR, a force made up of ships from Portugal, Spain, Italy and France. Personnel as of 30 April 2008. Update: UNIFIL employs 12,341 military personnel, supported by some 307 international civilian and 606 local civilian staff, and it is headed by Spanish Force Commander Major General Alberto Asata. To date, UNIFIL has suffered 272 fatalities, 261 troops, 2 military observers, 5 international civilian staff, and 4 local staff. Concerns over presence and neutrality. Israeli concerns. Israel has criticized the force for, amongst other things, maintaining a dialogue with Hezbollah, which it views as a terrorist organization, for treating Israeli and Hezbollah violations of Security Council Resolution 1701 equally, while Israel views its violations of Lebanese airspace as less severe than Hezbollah's violations, including crossings of the Blue Line and rocket launchings. Namely because Israel and its primary allies in the West consider Hezbollah to be a terrorist organization and not a legitimate political party, and, as a result of this, declare all armed Hezbollah actions to be terroristic. UNIFIL was accused of complicity in the fatal abduction of IDF soldiers in October 2000, and Israel further blamed it for obstructing its investigation by denying the existence of, and then once the existence was leaked, refusing to supply videos of the attack for several months. Prior to the July 2006 Lebanon War, Israel had been lobbying for UNIFIL to either take a more active role vis-a-vis Hezbollah or to step out of the region. UNIFIL also came under criticism during the 2006 Lebanon War for broadcasting detailed reports of Israeli troop movements, numbers, and positions on their website, which could have exposed Israeli soldiers to grave danger, while making no such reports about Hezbollah. UNIFIL's actions could have been motivated by the fact that Israel was, as a response to Hezbollah rocket fire into the kidnapping of Israeli soldiers, conducting a ground invasion of Lebanon at that time. Israel was concerned when it was reported that Indonesia was being considered to replace Italy as commander of UNIFIL's naval force, as Indonesia does not recognize Israel, and the two countries have no diplomatic or military relations. Israel expressed concern that cooperation with the IDF, especially the Israeli Navy, could deteriorate. A 2010 book published by Norwegian journalist Odd Karsten Tveit revealed that the Norwegian army was complicit in the escape of 2 Lebanese men who were arrested by the Israeli army and being held in Kyiv prison. According to the book, in 1992, 2 detained Lebanese men escaped from Kyiv prison, fearing that they would face torture or execution if caught by the Israel Defense Forces or South Lebanon Army. The soldiers dressed the detainees in UN uniforms, and placed him in a UNIFIL convoy which left southern Lebanon through Israeli roadblocks. Shortly afterward, Israeli Army Commander Moshe Tamir visited the Norwegian battalion's camp, and accused Norwegian Commander Hagerup Haukeland of sheltering terrorists. Immediately after the confrontation, the Lebanese men were smuggled onto a bus used by Norwegian peacekeepers on leave, which took them to Beirut. Hezbollah Concerns. Hezbollah supporters have accused UNIFIL of siding with Israel, especially since the passage of Resolution 1701, which they view as one-sided. On 16 October 2006, Lebanon's top Shiite cleric Grand Ayatollah Saeed Mohammed Hussein Fadlallah declared that the UN force had come to protect Israel, not Lebanon, echoing the sentiment of the leader of Hezbollah, Syed Hassan Nasrallah, who previously said, "They are ashamed of us, brothers and sisters."